right approach to the US-Iran nuclear negotiations. Reflections from my visit to Iran's nuclear facilities by Professor Diesen. I recently attended a media festival in Tehran and also had the opportunity to explore Iran's weapons systems and one of its nuclear facilities. Iran's nuclear program is cited as the main reason for Israel and the US to threaten war with Iran. Such a war would likely escalate into a disastrous regional conflict and perhaps even pull in the other great powers in a world war. Israel obviously needs to bring America on board to attack Iran, so the discussions between the US and Iran are of great importance. What do the Americans and Iranians want, and is there common ground that can be reached? If the only demand by the US was for Iran to abstain from developing nuclear weapons, then an agreement could be reached, as Iran claims it does not intend to develop nuclear weapons and has accepted that inspectors are there to ensure compliance. Indeed, Iran agreed to the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, the JCPOA, and honoured its obligations before the US unilaterally withdrew from the agreement. The US now demands a renegotiation and demands the complete dismantlement of Iran's civilian nuclear energy program, which it's entitled to have as a signatory to the Non-Proliferation Treaty. Furthermore, the US has linked its hegemonic policies in the region to the nuclear issue. The US demands that Iran limit the range of its ballistic missile program and also suspend its support for allies in the region, primarily Yemen, Lebanon and Hamas. From Tehran's perspective, this represents a complete capitulation that would make its security dependent on the benign intentions of Israel and the US. This neglects that the US has had Iran in its crosshairs for the past 45 years, and Iran does have legitimate security concerns. What can be considered a legitimate security concern by the US is that Iran has become a nuclear threshold state with the knowledge and material to develop a nuclear weapon. Restricting the extent to which uranium is enriched and imposing strict inspections could possibly be negotiated. However, threatening to bomb Iran would not eliminate its know-how or all of its material, and such an attack would only incentivize Iran to develop a nuclear deterrent. Even US threats to attack Iran unless it complies with US demands must be making the political leadership in Iran consider acquiring a nuclear weapon. So far, Iran is not developing nuclear weapons because doing so would encourage other states, such as Saudi Arabia, to also pursue nuclear weapons. Recognizing the security competition, the result would not be greater security for Iran. In my opinion, another approach to negotiations would be to do what is rarely done anymore in Western diplomacy, to recognize and mitigate the security concerns of the other side for the purpose of reducing the security competition. Threatening and bullying Iran into making unilateral concessions has become the new normal in the unipolar era. The US offer to remove sanctions on Iran is merely an offer to stop punishing Iran. The point of departure in any diplomatic approach should be to address mutual security concerns and explore where an agreement that enhances security for both sides can be found. Threatening Iran with capitulation and linking nuclear issues to unrelated matters will only ensure the failure to reach an agreement.